Hey Nicholas, so this is the video for your helmet. Very cool piece. I'll show you this here. So there we go. You kind of see the reflection of the camera in that, but it's got the one-way visor that you wanted in there. Now, with the light behind it, you can see the hole through it there. But once your head's on here, it blocks out all the light coming in pretty much entirely one way. You can see it. I think I can angle this so you know what, maybe. So there we go. So see me through there now, and here's the bottom. So nice sized hole. Get your head in there. Scaled based on the numbers you sent me, so it should be no problem at all. And then I put this white foam here around these and on these edges here, just to make it more comfortable when it's on, so it's not kind of digging into your shoulders. Now, this thing does present some interesting challenges. It was a pretty cool piece to make. I think it came out great overall, the general shape based on images from online. This off-white cream color, that for whatever reason, during that era, technology companies were a big fan of making their things. I don't know why. Honestly, it doesn't look terrible, but certainly glad we don't do this anymore. Now, on the sides, you can see that these came out real smooth. If you look really closely, you can kind of tell where the combination lines were, but mostly got them sanded out really well. And certainly the print lines are pretty much entirely gone. It's got a very smooth finish to it, which is nice. The only thing is, and actually the front here, very proud of that, how smooth this front section came out, because these pieces printed with this face down, and it's not completely flat based in the model, so it was just filled with all these imperfections, and this started looking real nasty. But a whole lot of bonding putty or glazing putty and sanding and all that later, and now got this smooth finish on it, which is nice. The only area that is a bit more obvious is up here at the top, and even then it's not, you can see it there in the center running along here. That's because there's a lot of pressure going on at the top, so the pieces have a little bit of flex to them up here. There's not really anything I can do about that, just because of how large this thing is. And the back came out pretty well too, but yeah, so there's a lot of pressure on these, and while I did my normal 3D like plastic welding to connect all the pieces and everything, and the glazing putty helps to add to that connection as well, you do want to be careful not to put too much downward or upward pressure on this top bit in here. So if you take a look inside, you can see those white strips in there. So normally for all of my helmets, I just have to use the soldering iron to essentially plastic weld the pieces together, and that works out just fine. But with this one, there's pieces are so large and heavy with each other that I also welded in those strips to sort of act as extra support for you, and hopefully that should make a pretty big difference on keeping it together. But at the end of the day, you still definitely want to be careful about the very top there. Oh my god. The very top there, you definitely don't want to be like, dropping it on your head, or, dropping something on top of here. And again, it's not, it's not fragile, but, you want to be careful. Better safe than sorry with that one. And another interesting challenge with this thing is the fact that, because I wanted you to have that full one-way screen visor and not have to worry, and I don't have a model of your head to experiment the sizing with, so kind of had to just err on the side of caution there. Also, again, you can see this foam is also on the inside of this ring, so it's not, add some comfort there. But I am going to create Gonna try and give you some, my normal foam insert strips are like this thin, and there's a whole lot of space in here to mess around with. So if there's an area that I think would need small enough adjustments for those to work, then I'll throw in some of those. I'm also gonna try and use some of this thicker foam that I have here, like scrap foam, because something like this probably put on the sides at the very least, because I think that's the smallest gap. And then up top could probably use the more thin ones. And I'll include as many of these as I think, will be useful. It's possible that you'd want to get some other stuff, like other foam stuff on your own, just for comfort and things like that. Because again, without your head here, there's not really a way for me to know which of those to do. So I just sort of will include as much as possible to help you out there. And if there's anything else you need, luckily that this kind of foam stuff is not expensive and really easy to put in. You just use pretty much any glue. Hot glue should work just fine. I use something called, I think it's Fixed. You can get on Amazon, that's really strong, but really whatever glue you got laying around, maybe even Elmer's glue. I mean, anything you got laying around should work. But yeah, I think that's everything. Sorry for the delays in this one. Like I said, is a massive piece and came with a lot of its own little quirks that I had to sort of figure out and work around. But I hope you're happy with it. I'll let you know. I'll get you the tracking number when I send you this link. Might be a little longer than some of my normal ones just because of the sheer size of this thing. But yeah, I think it came out really great. It's gonna be really cool. Certainly gonna be a really unique piece. If it ends up like that photo you sent me and you attach a hat to the top of this thing, I think that'll look pretty hilarious. But yeah, if you got any other questions or concerns, let me know. And whenever you're seeing this, you should be getting this link with the tracking number, so you'll have all that information. But thanks, man. Let me know if you need anything else.